So I had my first problem with the new Jeep Wrangler. For those of you who are new, this is a 2025 Jeep Wrangler in the gorgeous mojito color. But I discovered a problem. After we got home, I was looking around the Jeep and I noticed right up here in the corner on both sides, kind of to protect this edge, I'm guessing, there was this green kind of packing tape, right? So it wasn't on there very well. It looks like somebody just kind of slopped it on there, right? It was loose-ish looking. So I grabbed a corner and I pulled. And when I did, it was kind of like stranded tape, had strands of, looked like string in it, right? So I grabbed the corner and I pulled and it just gave way and started to pull off like spaghetti. It was a pain in the ass to get off. The adhesive was like some kind of super adhesive. I don't know. This is what it looked like right here, right? I mean, it was horrid. You wouldn't think it'd be that bad, right? I mean, it was probably about 2.5 inches in width and probably about 5 inches in length. And as I mentioned, it was also over here on the driver's door. And to make matters even worse, it kind of tucked under the weather stripping here on the edge. So it kind of went down right behind in here, right? Right up against the, I guess, the edge of the weather stripping underneath. So when I tried to pull it off under there, it also kind of frayed and left these strings of, I don't know what, adhesive, and it was just horrible. So what I did to get it off, I used an airplane adhesive remover. I guess they use it on airplanes to remove tags and things that they stick on the side of planes. I don't know. It's kind of like a gel material, right? And I had used it to take off the decals on the Tacoma. It kind of ate right through those decals and made it pretty easy to take off. Not quite sure how great it is for the clear coat or the paint, but nonetheless didn't appear to damage the Tacoma. So I sprayed it. I actually dabbed it on there from a rag because I didn't want overspray going on to the rubber molding, since it seems to be so caustic. Didn't matter. Didn't even phase it. Not a big deal. So I resorted to the thing you never should do, and that is my fingernails, right? I kind of dug gently at that tape and pulled it off in long string pieces, and was still left with some of the material itself, this green nasty stuff, and adhesive. So I tried Goo Gone. Put some Goo Gone on there after I had scraped it all off, and the Goo Gone did seem to work pretty well, right? I was able to kind of continue scraping it off easier with my fingernail, and eventually, as you can see on the Jeep itself, I did get it all off, and there's no damage or anything to the paint from me scraping it or anything, so thank goodness for that. I did try heat, by the way. I had a hairdryer on it trying to maybe gum up or soften up the adhesive. It didn't make any difference. Whatever it is they use, first of all, I think is way frickin' overkill. And why they didn't take it off at the dealership, I'm assuming they either missed it or it got to the point where the truck or the Jeep was ready to go, and the guy detailing it has run into this before and just didn't want to spend the time. Because when I did the driver's side, it took me probably an hour, and it would have taken another hour to get the other side off. So that's 2 hours of extra detailing time while you're just sitting there in the dealership, right? So I understand why they didn't want to do it, if that indeed is the case, but they should have done it. Now, there was one other problem with having that tape on. I mentioned that it was kind of loosey-goosey a little bit, right? Air could get underneath it, kind of move it around a little bit where it wasn't stuck down to the Jeep itself. And I heard this noise driving the Jeep. It was kind of like a plastic paper noise, right? You get this kind of, my impression, going down the road. And at first I didn't know what it was. I thought, oh great, there's some kind of rattle in the dash of the Jeep. Well, it wasn't. It was this tape, I am assuming. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to bring you guys with me. We're going to jump in the Jeep. We're going to go for a ride. And we're going to see if I still hear that kind of paper crinkly sound that I heard before. I really hope not, because I really do believe it was that tape, but who knows? Let's jump in and go for a ride. All right, we're out here on the road. I'm going to be quiet as I accelerate because this is when I heard the noise. And again, it was coming from right over there. And voila, just like that, and as I suspected, the noise is gone because the tape is gone. And it's funny, it was right in the corner where the wind, of course, would hit the A-pillar up top. So it was in the perfect spot to cause noise while you're driving. And I just wonder how many times customers have taken home Jeeps, because apparently this is how they do it in manufacturing, I'm guessing. But how many times people have taken their Jeeps home, you know, and maybe even on the ride home, they heard this crinkly paper kind of sound and thought they had a problem, and actually either went back to the dealership or made an appointment to go back in later to find out what the heck was wrong with their Jeep. So if you happen to have this kind of a problem, or maybe you're in the market and you're looking to pick up a new Jeep, I would certainly make sure that you check those two corners, because as simple as it looks to take off, it's not. And I'm assuming, maybe I'm wrong, that the dealership service department probably has some sort of method or remover that takes that tape off. I mean, maybe, you know, it has to be really cold and it makes the adhesive brittle and they can just pop it off that way. I'm not exactly sure, but nonetheless, I'm guessing that maybe they have some way to make that easier to do, because I can't imagine that they're paying maybe I can, that they're paying a service tech out there, or not even a service tech, just the people that clean them up, but they're paying somebody to stand out there and spend an hour on each side pulling that tape off. Now, maybe they get paid by the job, so it doesn't really matter if they spend 5 minutes or 5 hours, they get the same money and the dealership doesn't really care. You know, I'm not really sure myself, but nonetheless, that is the biggest problem I've had with the new Jeep Wrangler so far. And it's kind of a shame that that I had to have that happen, because otherwise it's been spot on perfect so far. No check engine lights. I haven't seen any kind of fit and finish problems or paint problems. You know, all the kind of stuff that you can run across when you get a new vehicle. I haven't had any of those issues. It's running great, no weird vibrations. One of the biggest complaints I guess I've had in the past on new vehicles is sitting at a stop sign or something and feeling some kind of vibration in the seat, which is coming from the engine, of course. Nothing like that. It's been spot on perfect, just like it should be, just like you want any new vehicle that you bring home to buy. Now, one other thing I do want to mention, because it comes up, even though I'm not sure why, and that is fuel economy on this thing. Right now, I'm getting a whopping 14.9 miles per gallon. It's brand new. I mean, it's got 98 miles on it now, so I'm sure that will improve as the break-in process continues. But, you know, honestly, am I going to go from 14.9 to 17 or 18 miles per gallon? I kind of doubt that. I think it'll probably end up, for my style of driving, which is primarily all around town. I mean, there's not a lot of, you know, higher speed freeway mileage to buffer or kind of increase that average. But nonetheless, I would expect that it'll go up some, but I don't think I'm ever going to see 18, 19 miles per gallon. And I'll add a footnote to that. You know, this Jeep does have a more aggressive, heavier mud terrain tire on it, so that's going to detract from the fuel economy a bit as well. It's too bad that they put these on. I've talked about this in other videos. I'm not a fan of the mud terrains that are on this Jeep. We will be replacing them down the road. What I'll probably do is go with the same size in an all-terrain, either the BF Goodrich KO2s or ideally for the Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws. I might try out the 4Ws, I don't know. When I looked up reviews between the new KO3s and the new AT4W Falcon Wild Peaks, the KO3s actually scored a bit higher. So we'll see. I still am a fan of the Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws, but they're virtually impossible to get now because they're phasing them out with the new version of the tire. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, give you guys a bit of a heads up, tell you the only real problem I've had with my new Jeep. Otherwise, I really am loving this thing, and I would go as far as to say that this is my most favorite version of Jeep that I've ever had in the Wrangler / Gladiator class. Leave a comment. I'm curious if you've ever run across any of those stickers on the A-pillars on your Jeeps, and how did you find taking them off? I'd just be curious to know. Real quick, don't forget to click that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on the web. Bye.